Hey guys, Demon here, and today I am reviewing Season 6, Episode 10. I'm pretty sure it's Season 6, right? Yeah, it's Season 6. BoJack Horseman. I almost said BoJack Horseman. Um, but no, BoJack Horseman. And I gotta say, another great episode. Spoiler alert warning, because we're just gonna get right into it. So where to start first? Let's start with the smaller part first. This episode had the story of the reporters going to the house of the dear ladies. I forgot their names. I'm sorry. I'm really bad with names. But they go to the house of them and they talk to them, and basically they're trying to get a story out. And the daughter is kind of wants to tell them everything because BoJack really messed with her and kind of fucked up a lot of things, even though she kind of she was okay with it, to be honest. And then like now she's just like, but no, I'm not okay with it. And I guess technically you could say, well, he's a full ass grown man and he should know better. And she was only a teenager, so I guess that is a defense you could say. But at the same time, you shouldn't have been so dumb as a teenager. I don't know. Like, it is BoJack's fault, and he has done some horrible things, but not everything is his fault. Like her almost sleeping with BoJack, he should have known better. But again, that was kind of her decision to almost sleep with him. Her accepting booze from BoJack, she should know better. He should know better, I should say. But again, they accepted the booze from him like all dumbass teenagers do. You know, it's kind of a thing about being a teenager. They're stupid. But adults are supposed to be smart, but BoJack was obviously an adultish child. So, yeah, it's his fault, but at the same time, they can't put all the blame on BoJack. Like, you gotta take some of the blame yourself. Like, BoJack, I don't remember exactly, but I'm pretty sure he didn't force her to drink until she got freaking alcohol poisoning. Maybe he did. I'm not... I don't remember. Did he force her to drink? Maybe. Maybe not. I don't know. I don't remember. But I'm pretty sure he didn't. So she just drank... She overdrank herself. And, like... To be honest... I've seen this like this happens in real life without supervision of adults, and it's the teenager's fault for drinking that much because they're an idiot. So I do understand it obviously is BoJack's fault for a certain amount, but it's also like you can't blame everything on BoJack. And then they wanted to know about Sarah Lynn and stuff like that. And like, did BoJack get her drunk and stuff like that? Not really, because Sarah Lynn was a fully grown-ass woman and she should have known fucking better. BoJack just encouraged the behavior. You know what I mean? Like, if my alcoholic friend came over to my house and he was on AA and he's just like, hey, I want a drink. And I say, okay, and I drink with him, I encourage the behavior to drink, but I'm not the one that made him fucking drink. I wasn't just like, hey, just drink up, come on, you know? I didn't force him to fucking drink. You can't blame me for the actions of my stupid-ass friend. But then again, like, BoJack should have known better, but at the same time, he was just as fucked up as her. So she should have known better not to go to BoJack. Like, not trying to defend a guy like BoJack, because obviously he's done wrong things and he's a fucking asshole, like a serious asshole. But like, some people have got to take responsibility for their own fucking faults. Like, Carolyn did that to herself. BoJack was just there to encourage it and help. You know what I mean? Like, if I had a drunk friend who fucking drank and did drugs till he died, And I was there and I did the drugs with him until he died. Just because I did them and I knew that he was addicted to them doesn't mean I'm the one that fucking forced him to do it. It just means I was an encouraging factor to it. But I was just like, I was just another cog in the machine. He probably would have done it anyways, or maybe he wouldn't have. I don't fucking know. Like, they obviously need help, but BoJack himself needed help. So, I don't know, man. Like, you gotta take responsibility for your own actions. Of course, BoJack should have told the truth to the cops and everything when it happened, but he didn't. Which is why this story is probably gonna, like, go out of proportion. You know what I mean? If BoJack would have said, like, listen, she came to me and we drank and then we went on a drunken high bender together, and at the end, it turns out she took too much stuff and died. Because technically he was a part of it, but he didn't kill her, so technically it's still her fault. Maybe he would have got in trouble for, like, doing drugs and maybe having possession of drugs. He would have got in trouble for it. But he wouldn't have got, like, murder charges. I don't think, at least. In most places, I don't think they'd put you in murder charges. They'd probably be like, well, they were a grown-ass person that did the drugs with you, so it's kind of their own fault. You know, like, he didn't supply the drugs if I remember correctly. So it's not really his fault that she did the drugs, but he encouraged it. So, you know, it's a whole thing. It's a whole thing. It's gonna go more out on this whole show. But at the end of the day, he's probably gonna have to take responsibility for this. And he probably should have at the very beginning. He probably should have been like, hey, we went on a drunken bender together and we did some drugs and some alcohol. And at the end, she ended up dying by Odine. And now I feel fucking terrible. And he probably wouldn't have been charged with murder or anything like that. At least I don't think so. But I don't know, because I never went on a drunken bender where my friend ended up dying. So I wouldn't know. But yeah, like, it's very interesting to see that. And it seems like they just want to, like, put everything on BoJack, probably. It's very, very interesting. And then we have Diane's plot. That's enough of that plot. Now we have Diane's plot. Diane's taking medical depression medicine, which is making her a bit loopy because depression medicine can have that effect. And also some depression medicine can actually have the opposite effect and make you want to kill yourself. Depression medicine's weird, okay? It's supposed to work, but sometimes it can mess up and sometimes you have an adverse effect to it. But yeah, she's taking depression medicine. She wants to make this good book, but at the end she's kind of making a silly book. But she can't make a good book because she's like, well, I had damage and I want that to mean something, but if it doesn't mean something, what the fuck does that mean? You know, sort of thing. And, you know, it's sad to say, but sometimes just because your life sucked doesn't mean your damage amounts to anything, to be honest. Like, abuse and stuff like that, sometimes it just doesn't amount to much of anything. You know, that sucks, but it's true. Sometimes it doesn't amount to much of anything. And, but yeah, it's very interesting to see her like that. She wants to write this, she wants to write this book about, like, how she was abused and stuff like that. And it's interesting, but she just can't do it because she's on this depression medicine, and plus she can't figure out, like, how do I start and everything, because she wasn't, like, super abused. She was, like, neglected and stuff, but not, like, super abused, so her damage doesn't really have any meaning. It does, but it doesn't, you know, it doesn't have enough meaning to make a book out of it, I should say. And sometimes that's just life. You know, it sucks. And then she's on depression medicine. By the way, I've taken depression medicine before, and it never worked for me, but I guess there's different varieties of them, so I don't know, maybe one of them would have. But I do know depression medicine is supposed to work. Sometimes it has adverse adverse effects on you. But it never worked for me. But yeah, interesting little plot line there. And then at the end, BoJack passes out. I'm thinking from a panic attack or maybe a heart attack. I'm not sure. Because he heard from the the dear lady, again, forgetting her name, and he heard that there's reporters, and he's just like, oh shit, like, oh my goodness, and he fainted. Maybe from a heart attack, but probably just from a panic attack. But very interesting. Interesting. Can't wait to see the rest of it. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, like, comment, subscribe, and share. Hit that bell notification. Best way to keep up my content. Link down below to my Twitter. See you tomorrow when I release episode 11 review. And as always, friends, stay sane. Peace.
I will eat you, and you will be in my belly. You will be the urchin, or perhaps it will be reversed. I don't know. But all I know is that it's delicious to eat.